All right. Now in this video, we're gonna discuss how we find trade setups based on the support and resistance lines that we already have set. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to basically hide price that already happened, and we're gonna go back in time, back test, and we're gonna look for trades as if we were in a live market. Right now it's Saturday actually. My bad, it's Saturday. Just hit midnight, so it's Saturday on the weekend. Markets are closed, so we're gonna go over basically the last week of January into February after this drop. That was February 1st, this bullish candle right here. And the reason why, so if I scroll back, and all you see is to January 31st. Now we know as of now the only thing that holds strong is this high. We can confirm that from previous support and resistance breaking areas. A support held, a resistance right here held, resistance right here held. So that's a strong area. We got two touches right here and also some wicks, a break and retest right here. So this is a strong little area of support. And also the main area right here. Price created a low, went up, came back down to that exact point. So we're going to look at the market as if we are on January 31st. So what we do is we're going to drop down to the 4 hour and go back to January 31st. Which is right here. And basically I'm going to draw a vertical line so I can show where the 31st ended. Which is right here. Bam. So we scroll over. This is what we have. So let's pretend that we're on January 31st, pretty much the end of that day. And all we have to our knowledge is this high, this mid ground support, and this main support. So we got support, support, and resistance up here. So with that being said, from this point right here, we can easily create a zone. The zone is basically a high and a low. And for the purpose of this video, I'll show you how we draw zones, so we can show where we would exactly look for a trade. Now the fact that we broke or we bounced from this support and continuing back bullish, we're already past this little break and retest situation, this little minor support. With this candle right here, we broke past this area, so we know it's a bullish move. So now after we got these consolidation candles right here, because this is a Friday, this is the end of the Friday, basically the end of that week, we can draw a little zone. So put my hands up there, and I'm gonna change the color to this. Put it like purple. I'm gonna duplicate this right there. Bam. So basically what we want to do, we want to wait for price to break out of that zone at a close on the candle. We don't want to be trading while the candle is in progress, unless if you're looking at a smaller time frame to help you find confirmations to get into that trade. But we all know we got to wait at least 4 hourly candles to create this 4-hour candle. So we're gonna move over to the next 4 hour and see where we at. So as we can see, zoom in so we can see, get a little bit closer. Go back. We did break out and we closed above, so I could get rid of this vertical line because that's just basically letting me know this is the start of February. This vertical line right here, this is the start of February. So we're gonna remove this. Don't need it no more. So we got our breakout right here. Now, what we would assume is that being that we broke out to the upside, going bullish, we would assume that the next target area is going to be this support right here. Obviously, that support broke through, but it's now turned resistance, and that's the next price target because this is based, this little support area right here, this yellow line is based off the daily, so it's a strong area of confirmation for support and resistance. So we can find truth in that to know that this is our possible next area of price action. So that can be your level of take profit once you're in a buy. So basically, once price broke out of the zone, we are basically at 4 o'clock in the morning. So you probably wouldn't be entering a trade until somewhere in here at 6 o'clock, depending on what time you get up. And if you got up and 6 o'clock, it's already up here. Your best bet and your only bet is to wait for a retest. You want to wait for price to dip down low because you already know from this price going all the way up and touching this level right here, which would be your take profit area, the next level of support and resistance, the next zone. You know that price is trying to hit this area based off this next 4-hour candle, which is from 4 to 8 p.m. This first breakout was from midnight to 4 a.m. So we got this 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. up here. Price retests all the way back down, damn it, to where you broke out at. This whole, basically from the top of this wick to where the breakout, this is all opportunity to get in on buys. So let's say, for instance, you caught it right at this top of this wick, which is 70.92. Take profit is 71.07. So that's a 15 pip move. That's enough for the day. Now, granted, you could have held this move thinking it's going to possibly maybe hit this consolidation area or maybe hit this high, which in hindsight, it really did touch this high area, try to test this area right here. So if you held, a good indication to know when it's time to get out is when you start to see candles that are weak body candles showing areas of consolidation. Like when you get a doji candle like this, basically a wick to the top, wick to the bottom, real small body, that's indecision. Bulls was trying to push it up, bears was trying to push it down. They both didn't know where they want to go, so they just decided to just keep it in the middle. And as you can see, price never broke from this area. And here we broke below, closed in the zone. Broke up, closed back in the zone. Broke down, closed back in the zone. So that's all consolidation. And when you see price like this, you really want to draw. Your bodies is good, but if you include the wicks, that's even more patience to wait. Notice how if I would have drew these lines, like say if I take this, if I drew that on that body, take this, drew that up in here, this would have been your trade. It broke out, you would have waited for a slight retest up in here and you would have took sales. Probably would have taken profit once price sits down this below. But you would have put it at wicks. basically right here and right here. You want to get around a lot of multiple touches. It's right here. You got to touch, 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 touch. It's 4 touches. You got to touch, 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 touch. 4 or 5 touches. So now you're waiting for a breakout above here. Notice our price never broke above. So that's an indicator knowing you should not be in any bias. A lot of people would have caught buys up in here because you see it's breaking above, starting to break this high, but it closed back below in this zone area. So that's why I say it's always important to wait for the candles to close. Don't try to get into a live trading, a live forming candle on this 4 hour. You got 4 hours to wait, so be patient. Other than that, drop down to a smaller time frame, but you got to be quicker and smaller on your entries and exits when you drop down a smaller time frame. So that being said, we're gonna wait for this 4 hour to break out. And as you see, the first breakout was right here, where price never continued. A good entry will be waiting for a big candle to push below here. Like you see right here, you see this big candle push below. But being that this was your zone, we got this big push right here. You had a push right here, but it quickly jumped right back into the zone. You had a push out, but it quickly jumped back into the zone. So being that you see this push out of the zone and you don't see price coming back, and then you see it breaking below with all this clean traffic, this is what you would call like somewhat of an impulse entry. So it's kind of like casino, you rolling the dice and your chances are very, very high. This is a high probability trade. It already break down through this zone area. It broke below the low created right here, closed, and now you got price pushing back below this daily support under this wick. Yeah, going to sell right there. Some of these trades you don't even have to wait for the candle to close, but you have to be patient. Like it's like you see all these levels of confirmation I just went through to know that this is a impulse candle to get into. Not only that, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 to 8 a.m. So this is all New York, London volatility. So that's even another level of you know, yeah. So that's even more confirmation right there for you to get into that sale. So you got price not breaking above, breaking out of this zone, breaking this low, touched and broke past this support but didn't close. Then you got the next candle breaking through, breaking the low, and also continuing low. Yeah, give me that. I'm gonna hop into that sell. And what'll get me out is basically waiting for either my stop loss to get hit, which on this 4 hour I would have easily just got out on that. That's a big move. Let's say for instance you got in right here, 77.09. Price closed all the way below these lows, started pushing back up at 70, what it closed at 70.66. Went all the way down to 70.55. Yeah, I would have got down 70.59. So 70.99 to 70.59, that's 40 pips. That's a nice little morning. Granted, you wouldn't have caught all that because it's 4 o'clock in the morning. You probably would have woke up at 6:37, caught your little 10 or 15, maybe 20. Still good. You done for the day. So we're gonna keep this moving. So as you can see, you see how we caught these buys on the 4 hour. We had a breakout in the morning, big push, buys all day. We had another breakout right here in the Asian session going into Australian Asian session right here. That would have been a nice little sale, but nonetheless, like I said, we're waiting on big moves. This did not break out of this zone like we wanted to, so this would have been a lot of patience because you basically catching this buy. You probably would have got out of buys probably when this candle closed. This is a big candle, letting you know maybe price is ready to reverse. So from this point on, which is February 2nd, let's say 8 o'clock, maybe you would have got out of this buys at this close. So from 8 p.m. all the way until the not the next day, but the day after. So you would have to wait basically like a full 24 hours, so to speak, because this day would have been a no trade day. You know, you probably could have cut buys up in this if you was trading this frame, but you'd have been waiting for this price to close. And price closed back in the zone, so it's no trade. Price never broke out, never broke out, never broke out. And then you get this big breakout. And that's where you want to be entering your sale. So let's continue moving on. So right now, we would have taken this sale in the morning. We probably wouldn't have gotten out right around this area, right at the close, because we see prices trying to reverse. So we would have seen what that would have gotten us. And if we was happy with our 10 or 20, we take that. We only keep these trades on. Let's say, for instance, if we did get this close, this bullish close, I would want price to continue going back down, breaking these lows. That would make me hold the sale. Other than that, price continue high. Yeah, I'm getting. Saw this. You would have saw this on the hourly. You would have saw price already trying to turn around on the hourly, so you would have got out way before this hourly. This is a 4-hour close. So we're gonna go here, and that was Friday anyway. Right here is Friday. So yeah, you would have been done for the day regardless. Like I said, if you was catching a small time frame, you probably would have catch this sell and this bounce up, maybe cut a little bit, but that's the end of the day. And after 10 a.m., you should be done. Not even worried about looking for no setups. So let's move over to Sunday, which is right up in here. Now, if we want, we can set a little zone area right here on Sunday, which is basically that little open. See this little body I had open here. Just testing out this little wick, the close of this candle. And then we're gonna put the highs on right there. Got a touch, and damn near almost a breakout. So with that being said, we got this little zone, and this probably would be better shown on the 1 hour. And I may drop down just so y'all can see a better idea on why I drew it right there, why I didn't draw it down here. Well, one, this is a low, but this still in play on Friday. I'm talking about what was in Sunday, because we don't really typically trade Sunday, and Sunday is a lot of consolidation for the most part, because there's not a lot of volatility. So that's a good area to draw a zone looking for a next breakout trade. So we draw, go back to the 1 hour, and I go back to that area right here. You'll see that Sunday is right here. Right here. This is green bullish candle. This is Sunday. So bam. If you want to sweeten it up, we could do this. We got all this support right here. coinciding with these wicks. Support right here with these wicks. Nothing broke below. And with these highs. Drop this down just a little bit. Down, because we got this touch. 1, 2, 3 touches. Down. Bam. So basically on this we'll be waiting for a breakout. And as you can see, this is 10 o'clock on Sunday. So we zoom back because we don't know what's gonna happen. All we doing is waiting. We don't know. This could have dropped down and it would have went down. It would have been a sell. But hey, got the breakout. And we wait for either price to continue up to retest this little high, because that's where off the daily, we know this is a strong area. So price, you want to think of it as like a magnet. Prices want to get attracted. This is like a positive and a negative. So price is going to get attracted to this positive. I'm going to push higher and try to tap this. So that's what we thinking we want to wait for. So we see this breakout. We either want to take an impulse entry. If price continue higher, we're going to wait for a retest. We'll wait for the next candle to close and see what happens. Next candle close, a retest. So we could easily, being that we got this breakout, we already was moving higher from this low point, had this consolidation, broke out retest. We could take a buy right here after this candle close. Stop loss under here. So we had a buy at 85, stop loss 75, 10 pip stop loss. And we going to say 05. That's like a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So we move over. See price moving higher. Oh, big push. Big push overnight. Move back down, move back down, move back down, push back up, take profit. Bam, 6 o'clock in the morning. So our stops was down here. Entries right here. Didn't really come back below our entry. Bam, take profit. And let's see how that would have looked on the 4-hour. Let's see, right here. So basically, we'll be waiting for a breakout, which would be damn near right here. Next candle started trading higher, never broke, never came lower. So once you see this candle trading higher above these highs, you could take buys right here. Once it broke this high right here. Why? And it's the same reason, like, okay, you got a high right here on this candle. It broke this high, true, but it came back down. It broke this high, true, right here, but it came back down. Also, it's in the zone. Also, this is Sunday. This is coming from a low volatility Friday. So we got a lot of just indecision right here. Perfect zone waiting to be broken out. So you don't want to be taking no trades that are in action. You only want to wait for candles to close after you see a breakout. You know what I'm talking about? After you see this breakout, like this was a better breakout on the hourly, but just say for instance, you take this trade on the 4-hour, you wait for price to fully break out and close. Bam, it closed. Take this entry, which is at 70.97. 70.97. Stop loss below, back in the zone area, which is at 82. So that's about like a 20 pip stop loss. So we want to look for 60 pips. If we taking a 20 pip stop, we want to get like 60 pips, 40 to 60 pips. So with that 96, 60 pips go be 71.56. Where is that? 71.56. Right up in these highs. Bam, price hit that. Easy. Also did a break of this strong daily support or resistance. Broke out, retested, continue higher. Like I said, especially on daily support and resistance. When price breaks out, you got to keep in mind, like if it's breaking out of this area, that's powerful. That's powerful. And not only that, if it's gonna break out, its chances are it could go to this next level of resistance up here. Chances are, we don't know, but we'll monitor trade as it moves up. So, like I said, with that being said, you probably would have got into this Sunday night on this buy, overnight sleeper type shit. Nonetheless, if you would have waited for this candle to close to see, because maybe you would have been like, okay, I could buy right here at midnight. What if I buy it, come back up and break down and come back, start selling off? I get stopped out or I wake up negative 30, 40 pips. So you don't want that. So to have more confirmation, to see if you really go get a true breakout, wait for the next candle to close. Next 4 hours, you sleep anyway. Man, wake up, set your alarm 4 o'clock in the morning just to check and see how it closed. You see that it did close here at 4 o'clock in the morning. So bam, this next candle open at 4. You see it drop down. Now chances are this drop back down to get a retest could have happened at 4 o'clock in the morning, could have happened at 5, maybe 6 o'clock in the morning. But nonetheless, this whole candle right here lasts from 4 to 8 a.m. So with that being said, you would have to look at the hourly to see if by the time you get up, like say 6, 7 a.m. in the morning, if you could have caught this retest. Nonetheless, if you didn't, you still have the confirmation for this breakout. And if you didn't catch this, you still have the confirmation of a retest. So you could just easily get into buys, place your stop loss below this actual candle and let it ride. That's the confirmation you want to get into, like basically getting into trades blindly. Like you don't want to have to try to shake yourself out of your ideas or your bias. You want to wait for confirmations, wait for candles to close, wait for breakouts, wait for consolidation, wait for zones, wait for resistance levels to be tested or touched, same as support. You just waiting. But if you can, the main thing is to wait for candles to close. Oh my God. Prime example. This little situation right here. You see how, like I said, it started to break out, broke these highs. As soon as it breaks these highs, niggas could be buying, thinking it's about to, hit this area, start breaking out. But what it do? Close back in the zone. Never broke out again. Turned around and sold off. Now chances are the person that's looking at this like, oh damn, it's selling off. Let me get into a sale. Then continue out. You know, this is Friday also. So if you're thinking it's about to continue selling on Friday when volatility is pretty much dead, yeah, you will be quickly surprised. So bam, we got into this buy, being that this was a strong resistance. We would let this buy play out, break above, and I probably would have moved my stop loss to probably right at this little area right here after we see breaking up. I would have put it right here. So chances are it would have got stopped out. But if it did, I now have an area of support right here and an area of resistance right here. And guess what? We could wait for another breakout to test this high or these highs right here. Simple as that. Wait for another breakout. So if I did, let's say for instance, I did get stopped out. Say I did, I caught the buys right here. Price started moving up, broke this little area of resistance, moved up, and I moved my stop loss up here in profit. Let's say for instance, price moves back down to retest this support, resistance turn support. You see it broke through resistance. Now it's turning around, create a support. So let's say for instance, I had my stop loss right there. Price came down, hit my stop loss. Bam, we out the market. Okay. So now we know we right here. We out the market. Price hit me. So I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna see if price go turn around, break back through this support, and come back into the zone. Because I may be looking to take sales if that's the case. But I would definitely wait for this candle to close because it tapped it. I don't know. It could break below and then close back up here. So I'm gonna wait. So we do go to next candle. Bam. Price push higher. So one thing I do have support. So I can take this line and move it and draw it right here on my support. I do have strong support and I do have resistance up here. Bam. So now I'm waiting for price to break out of this zone right here on a 4 hour. Let's see how it does. Still staying in the zone, but it's a little weaker candle. Like these bulls are trying to push back up. Let's see what happens next. Okay, still didn't break out. So that's a strong little resistance. Strong little resistance. So let's see. We're gonna continue higher or we're gonna turn around. Bam, with the breakout. All right. So now I see this breakout. I want two things. I want to continue higher and take buys because I'm confirmed on my bias for going bullish because I already broke out. Or I could wait for price to retest. Now the higher probability is you want to wait for a retest so you can get best price with stops below here and then let price continue higher. So let's see what happens. Bam. We get a little pullback and then price started pushing up higher. I would say if you want to take an impulse, as soon as price past this little wick right here, all these little wicks, bam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right up in this. As soon as price started passing up in this area, I would get in a buy. So we already have confirmation that price broke above. And it's not trying to come back in on the 4 hours. So let's look at what time this is. This is 12 o'clock. So we definitely won't be getting no trades at 12 o'clock. That probably was news. Maybe some speech came out. So we're going to wait for this 4 o'clock going to 8 o'clock candle. Because we're about to enter the Asian session. So we know we get a little bit more volatility. So we'll enter here. Stops below this low, which is 71.27. Enter about 71.47. So that's a 20 pip stop loss. So let's see how the trade worked out. Trade push higher. Try to break back low, but didn't. Continue higher. I think we good. So our price respected these wicks right here. So you possibly would have got out of this trade, being that it broke this area right here, because we had a wick down right here on this 4 hour, then another wick down. You could have drawn support and resistance up here with these two touches, this wick and this wick, and just wait for a breakout. And as you see price breaking out, and then this wick also touched back in that area. So yeah, let's draw that. And also this is 8 in the morning going to 12. So reason why price started to get weakened out because we had this big bullish move out basically all the way from the 4th, 8 a.m. It's a whole 3 days shit. Yeah, 3 days from the previous week going bullish. So we have to have some kind of consolidation. So let's move these lines. It's about right there. We got a touch here. Try to break high but couldn't. Another touch here. And we got our lower area. I'll move that to right here. Got a touch here to the bottom on this wick, touch here to the bottom of this wick, and we're gonna wait for price to break out. We got the breakout. We got the touch. You could take a sell right down that break and retest. And we had price close bullish, so I probably would have got out of that one, depending on how the next candle closed. Oh yeah, we'd have definitely got out that sell. So that's why I said you could look at this two ways. Being that you was in buys from this area right here, breaking out, you would have been moving your stop losses up. And if you would have had a stop loss right here, you notice price never broke broke below. That would have been a good area to get stopped out. And next candle would have definitely done that for you. Now on the flip side, if you were to wait for this candle to close and see what happens next, chances are you probably wouldn't have got into this trade anyway, because not only did it do a retest, but it was a bullish close. And with this wick higher, wick lower, small body, there's some slight indecision, so we don't know. We're gonna need the next candle to show us what we don't know. And what it shows us is that it's strong enough to break through the bottom area and the top area of the zone. So chances are probably going higher. Let's see. Bam. We did push high, but price closed back in the zone. And it also closed below this area. And this is 4 o'clock in the morning, so this would have probably been some news coming in from the morning. We got news bouncing off this high area. So with all that consolidation, I'm gonna go ahead and expand this zone. So let's say we took a loss on that one. I'm expand this zone up here, and then I'm expand this zone to right there. And now we're looking for another breakout. Let's see what the next candle does. Bam. Big Daddy. Two things. If you didn't get out this trade, which you probably would have, I ain't gonna cap, you would have got out this trade. But what you wouldn't have done, you wouldn't have got into no sales, because price never closed. It broke out, but it never closed. So you want to wait for those closes. So now you do have a close here, wicks up here, and like we're trying to push to this next level of resistance up here. So let's say, what was this, a 8 o'clock in the morning to 12? Being that this is a 4 a.m. candle, and we were thinking that we were gonna push higher, we did, because there is a lot of volatility. But if the market moves, the banks want to keep this bullish momentum, one thing they have to do, they have to have sellers to be able to buy to push their price and their positions higher. So how do they create sellers? They push the move. They put a market. Well, first of all, as you can see, it's continued bullish momentum. So with that being said, they will continue the bullish move after you get this some sort of a breakout from this area right here. You get this price breaking out, then the retail traders will be like, all right, bet we're going higher right now. So they get into buys, push them all the way out, hit their stops below this candle, all these stops. And now you're seeing all these people selling. Everybody want to jump into sales. You know, you got this big ass candle price breaking this low. Everybody's selling. And when you see that, that's all the orders they need to get filled for their buys. Bam. As you can see, 8 o'clock in the morning, all the volatility you need to push higher. You might want to wait for a breakout and retest, or you could just take these buys. Let's see what happened. So we did get a break back in. Depending on where your stop loss is, you probably would have lost that one too. And now we get another breakout. But it's still closing within these wicks. So with that being said, let's move this. All these touches right here. And we know right here, this was a fake out. Came back in the zone. Now we're starting to break out from right here. And bam, that's the trade. So what we can do is, being that you had this trade breaking out to the upside, breaking back in, that's a fake out. This upside move is a fake out. So we would have our support still at these levels because you got multiple touches. We got resistance up here, small consolidating indecision candles right here, breakout retest, but then it turns into a lot of fake out BS right here. Market really not really unsure on what they want to do. So with that being said, we either gonna wait for it to break out at the bottom and continue selling. And your best opportunity was to hop in the trade was right as soon as it started breaking these wicks. Take profit down here, 71.08. Entry is 71, let's say 28. And probably would have hit your take profit right there. If not, that would have been another loss. So I said you gotta wait for these candles to close. Because knowing that you got into this entry right here, price moved down, pretty much hit your take profit. If it didn't hit your take profit and you see this candle closing back bullish with indecision, you should be in profit. You got in right here, it's 32, close at 24. You want to take that. It's probably 6-7 pips. Take that. Chances are all this bounce. We're gonna see more bullish momentum and price could shot back up all the way here. We just don't know. That's why you want to wait for candles to close. So that being said, we can now look at this as a breakout. It didn't break the daily resistance or support. So turn back around, back into this little zone up here. And notice it never broke above. Never broke back above that zone area like it did with this fake out. So now we getting a little bit of signs. Okay, we got a first sign. We didn't break above. So we must be going back bullish. We get another breakout. Bam. Take that trade. Like I said, we had a whole bunch of potentials. Couldn't break out of this low. So that's pretty much like a strong area. The bottom of the zone. So we get another breakout. Close below. Stop loss below this high. So we got an entry right when it breaks this low. And the only reason you would take this impulse entry because it didn't break this high. So chances are we're probably still going to sell off. and you would put your stop loss right up in here, basically like the middle of this zone. 7182. Entry 7156. I could say 52. So that's like a 30 pip stop loss. 52, 02, 50 pips. And as you can see, price continued to sell off, and also it broke below this strong support on the daily. And if you had stops right here, you probably, with this breaking down, you probably would have put your stops right there. Or I said, fuck it, put your stops above this and got stopped out right there. Take your 40 pips and run. So we're gonna keep going. Right here at this low, this is midnight to 4 a.m. So we got morning. And we just want to see how it's gonna play. Is it gonna break down and continue, or it's gonna come back up? And it's looking like it's trying to come back up. So one could consider this a fake out as well. So we're gonna see. We got two questions. Is it gonna turn around and break through and continue a sell-off, or we gonna come back into the zone area? Let's see. Came back down, touched, still couldn't break though. It tried to break here, but broke right back. So it's a fake out because this area is strong. This is a daily support. So let's go to the next candle. Indecision. What time is it? This is Asian session about to start. So with this indecision and with this resistance, what we can say is if we break above here and close, chances are we're probably gonna move back into the zone area and potentially breaking higher. If we never break above here and we move down to fill this wick, chances are we might be getting enough volatility and enough volume and pressure to push back below this support and continue down to the next support. So let's see what happens. Next candle. Bam. Broke through and closed. So what you think? We in the Asian session, heavy volatility, about to go into the night, creeping up on London. What you think can happen? We got lower highs, we got lower lows, so you could hypothetically go for a sell, or you could wait for a continued breakout and retest and then hop into a sell. So let's see if you just hop into a sell right here. Like me, honestly, I don't know if I could hop into a sell right then and there because of all this crazy shit that's been happening, and then you got all this consolidation. I don't know. But let's just say, for instance, if you did, you would be entering in at 7104, profit at stop loss about 7134. So you got a 30 pip stop loss. So let's see what happens. Oh, 30 pips out of there. Now, you know me. Like I said, I wouldn't have gotten into the sell. I would have waited for it to continue showing some sign that it want to break. Maybe break these lows before I start to get into an impulse sale. Like I'm not just gonna get into no impulse sales, because bro, they gotta show me something else. They gotta at least try to break this low while it's a live candle, or break this wick while it's a live candle before it closes for me to get into a sale. So with that being said, if you got in, you got stopped out. So now we know we got more answers. We hit this support broke through a little bit, but couldn't continue to break below. So we had a big push up, and we closed above this area. Who knows? This is midnight. You sleep right now. So let's see what the next morning looking like. All right, we got indecision all the way until 8 o'clock. Let's see what happens. More indecision. So now we're looking into a potential breakout. Yeah, okay, so let's draw these zones. We got a lot of indecision going on. Let's draw these zones right quick. Let's get this. These little touches right here. Going with these touches right here. See if we can find a low. A low on this zone. I like this. Got this going with that. This touch. Going with this little consolidation. These touches right here. This little area consolidation. So I like that. Got two touches right here. So let's see what happens at the price with the zone. Okay. Touch but didn't break out. Let's see. Still holding. Okay, I went too fast. My bad. Bam, we got the breakout that we was looking for. Breakout higher, so what we can do, we can enter this trade with a stop below, or we could wait for a retest. So let's see what happens if we just enter the trade right now at 71.58. Stop loss below 71.47. So it's about a 10 pip stop loss. It's a nice little trade. And if we did move higher, we would look to gain close to 100 pips. So let's see if we got that. All right, we're breaking up. Looking good. Coming back down. Me personally, we started breaking below these lows. I probably would have got out that trade. But like I said, it's the 4 hour. So you got to wait for the candle to close to see. So let's see what happens. Next candle. Bam. Rejected that shit. Broke back above. Next candle. Broke back above. It's looking golden, y'all. So that entry. Let's see. We at least see if it's gonna go to 7 to 14 for a move stop losses. Bam. We're almost getting there. Whoa. So with this, typically a lot of people say this could be a turnaround, which it could be. Or it could be the market makers, the banks, pushing price back down, creating sellers so they can buy it back up to refill their orders. Because if they was buying right here, chances are they didn't get to fill in all their orders. So they probably did this move because all these candles wasn't real large buying candles. So it's basically more of their movement. There wasn't a lot of retail traders adding to this. So they had to create a scenario where we get a lot of sellers. Traders thinking that the market's selling off, so they in all these sales. They get filled and start to buy it back up. And all these stop losses along the way. So let's see how we would have played this. Price never really hit this high. So I don't know if I would have moved my stop loss above here. Maybe up in here, but nonetheless, we had an entry at 71.58 and stops below here. If we were still holding with that bias, we never got stopped out yet. Never got stopped out yet. Plus price never closed. And we would have saw that bet on the 1 hour, 30 minute. We would have saw that price was just tapping this area. So let's see what happens. Do we want to look at this as a bearish engulfing candle on the 4 hour and price will start filling this wick? Let's see. It is 8 to midnight. This is the midnight candle, so price can reverse and turn around. Let's see. Oh, oh shit. Okay. What I would do with all that consolidation, I would probably move my stops up here just so I could lock in that profit. And if it breaks below 71.79, so be it. I'm stopped out. We'll look for another setup. But now that we got all this consolidation, we got all these touches, touches with wicks, touches. It's like a little zone. So price is kind of getting a little weaker. So we're going to draw these zones. Put that right there. I'll move these right up in here. Bam. So now, if I got stops below off this buy, I want to wait until I get stopped out right here. Or if we have a breakout, we continue higher. So let's see what happens. Bam. Didn't get stopped out yet. Also, price didn't break below the zone. So let's see what happens next. Now, we did get stopped out. You know, if you got hypothetical stops, you maybe would have been cautious on getting out of this trade from these buys. You know, because it didn't break all the way down to this maybe mid-level, you know, 71.50, like those subconscious price levels, I guess you could say. So nonetheless, if you did get stopped out, cool. You wait for the breakout and get into another buy. So let's see what happens. Price continues higher, down. Seeing like price want to break out. What does it do? Stays in its zone. So I'm gonna continue moving forward with the day and see what happens. Bam, we just got the breakout. So with that being said, not only did price break up below, it broke these lows and broke these lows. So you could either get into an impulse entry and put your stops way above here, or you could wait for a retest. Now me personally, if price broke out this low, if I didn't catch sales right down here already, like some premature sales, because I saw what was this morning, so this probably news, high volatility, New York, London, crossover, so all that being considered, price pushing down, could easily get into a sell as price breaks below these lows with stops back up in here. But being that you wasn't unsure that price was gonna break, you probably gonna wait for this candle to close before you get into any trades, because you wouldn't want to get into a sell right here and then price closes way up here. Now chances are that's a big ass wick, and if we still get more selling pressure, then it might fill that wick, but you would be in hella drawdown. Enter down here and price close up here, yeah, that's not good. So the best option is to wait for a retest. You got a breakout. We want to wait for price to retest back near these areas, this area, their price, and catch sales. So let's see what happens. Let's see if it even gave us opportunity. Bam, there we go. So you got your opportunity. You want to take sales, and you can put a stop loss above here, or you can put your stop loss above here. So let's see. I'm gonna take sales at 71. Let's say 71.90, 88. Stops 08. So we got 20 pip stop loss. So let's see what price does. Moves up, takes us out. Now, me personally, I probably would have gotten out early if I got into this sell at the touch, because if I seen if price after this breakout, if price would have moved up and touched, and you would have gotten to sell, you would have been in profit right here. And if price would have moved down but didn't break this low, that's probably enough confirmation that price is not gonna break below this area if it starts to move back into the zone. Now if price moved right up in here, started closed, then maybe you might get a little bounce, then continue down. But the fact that price moved back below, and not only that, it went above this, oh yeah, I'm getting out. So let's see, if you would have got in at 71.88, you would have got it out at 98, you would have lost about 10 pips. So bam, price moved back in the zone, still didn't break out that zone, broke back below, still in the zone, try to break higher but didn't close above, and we get a price breaking back down low, trying to tap that area. Notice we got strong support, so with this you want to keep your eye out. You have this area right here, you got all these wick touches, this little area here. Chances are that price is going to continue higher is a whole lot less likely than price respecting this little resistance. So when you see price close like this and price close back below, you can feel free to take an impulse sell out this resistance and have your stops above the highest wick. So if you took a sell at 16, 15, stop loss at 30, that's like 15 pip stop loss. So let's see how that would have worked out if you'd have took that only. Now this you don't take this just cause. You only took this because you have literally more than 3 levels of confirmation for this being a strong resistance. You got this big body candle showing resistance. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks. That's another area showing resistance. And you got this other body candle showing resistance. So next time candle shows above but didn't close above, you could take sales off of these touches. Bam, sell. Another touch, sell. Let's see how those sales worked out. Price breaking back low. And this is how much is this zone? 15 to 85. 1505, 10, that's 30 pip range. So, you necessarily don't have to wait for it to break below and try to catch new trends. This is a big enough range to go, and take trades off of. Have your stop loss. I mean, you'll take profit at this next little range right here. It's gonna be ranging all day, because after about what, Thursday, Friday, 2 days from a Wednesday night of all ranging, yeah, this is a wait for the big breakout type of situation. So let's see how this sale worked out. We got stopped out right there. Easy. So we continue to wait because it didn't break out. Okay, we do get a breakout, but still not breaking above none of these highs. On these wicks, still not breaking above, so we still need to wait. Still no breakouts. There we go. That's a trade we was looking for. So I would say soon as price break this area, we get into buys at 28, 18, 10 pip stop. And bam, there you go. So we waited for price to break below, which it did, but who's to say it's gonna go lower? Because I took this trade because we had all this price action tricking us, and so we needed that confirmation. We needed to wait. And what does it do after we wait? Comes right back into this zone and trades and trades and trades and waits. So we took this sell, probably would have took profit right here because it didn't break out, didn't close below, so you know it's not a continuation. So as you can see, if you didn't take profit down here or at least lock in 10 or whatever you got to do, you would have got stopped out because taking this sale up here, you would have put your stop loss above these highs or at least above this high right here on this wick. And as you can see, price moved back up and stopped you out. So now we would have waited for price to break out, which it did on the body. Still didn't move with any strong confirmation up. Just had a lot of doji type of candles. Let me see something. Make sure I'm saying this shit right. Hold on, all right, quick. 1 hour in. Yes, doji, pin bar, small body at the top, effects. All right, we good. Just making sure. Making sure. So yeah, that's a doji. Doji. Pin bar would be this right here. It's a pin bar. Small body, maybe small wick at the top with a long wick at the bottom. Yeah, that's another pin bar right here. Small body, small wick at the top and bottom, the long opposite wick. So there we go. So we had this doji consolidation, then we had this breakout at 1600. Well, we got volatility coming in, move back, but it closed above. This is a bearish candle, but the bulls were in control as we push price back above to these highs, and then price continued higher. And you can have your take profit up here to support, and there you go. Simple as that. So consolidation, like I said, you just want to wait, and typically you want to wait for a high consolidation time frames, which is the the crossover sessions when sessions cross over. So that's basically the London and New York crossover, which happens around let's say about like 6 8 a.m. my time. I'm Central, and then you have the Australian into Asian going on at like 8 to 10 p.m. And then also that Asian leads into London going into 2 a.m. So if you see a strong setup around 4 5 6 8 up in that 4 hour candle, and then you see the next 4 hour candle just doing a retest, not really breaking closing back into any zones, then you know that's a high probability trade. And like you can see right here, we're at this consolidation, this doji candle right here. Even though it broke out, it didn't show me a true sign that I need to buy. So bam, this is my sign that I want to buy. Now I can wait for it to break out and take a buys. You could take buys right here. Stop loss below here. Never stop me out. Or you can wait for a retest. And after I broke out, had a little level of retest right here. Could have hopped in. Bam. Let's see if I would have got in up here. 34, so like 74, that's what, 40 pips? Thought I got into down here, 24 to 74, that's 50 pips. So 50, 40 pip move in a matter of overnight. I mean, hey, this move right here would have basically made back all the losses you caught in this consolidation, waiting for possible breakouts. Like I said, one key thing, if you have zones drawn with these wicks, when you have a little area and you're looking for a zone to break out, if it does break out, say for instance, we had this little area consolidation and it broke out. If it don't break past these wicks, have a little bit more patience and wait for the next candle to see how it forms. Don't just blindly get into a trade just because it broke out. At least wait for a retest or something. At least that. You'll save yourself a whole lot of headache. So let's see, we're gonna continue on. We on February 23rd at this high up here. Let's continue. We already took our profit, so let's see what the market's gonna do. Mm, big pushback down. We don't know what the hell gonna happen. We can't take sales because we ain't got no confirmation to come. Let's go come back into this zone yet, and we only want to take sales unless if it break back out through the zone and continue down to the support. So basically breaking these lows, that's when we want to take sales at. So right here we're just trying to see what the fuck going on. So let's go to the next candle. Bam. Okay. Look like price is bouncing off this main support right here, which is a strong support. And we didn't get a retest, so we wait. You're gonna miss most of this move. So bam, we got price breaking back into this area, into this zone from last time. Let's see if we get a breakout. Now we got the break. So what we want to do, we can have if price continues down and breaks below this low, we could hop into sales or we could wait for a retest. Being that you anxious because you ain't get into no sales all day on this 23rd, you probably anxious as shit to get into a sale. So let's see. Not only did you get your entry, your impulse entry, but you got a retest. Break out of this zone, retest, and take profit. So with that being said, I waited for this breakout. We got that closed. This candle gave us a retest opportunity to hop in and sales. So you had all this time to get into sales right here. Knowing that it didn't break back in this zone, not only did it not even broke this line, it didn't pierce it or nothing. So after all this opportunity, so I see price breaking low, get into sales. So let's say this is a 4 hour. We put a got in right at the break. So let's say we'd have got in at 60. All the way down to 10, it's 50 pips. Easy. Easy money. So we're gonna continue forward and see, because after this close, what you probably would have been waiting for is price to continue going lower to fill its wick. But What we do know is 12 after this candle closes. Volatility drops for US, and we're gonna wait till Asian session to pick back up volatility. So that's what we're gonna do. 12 to 4, and then 4 to 8 is our next. Notice this is the Asian. This big wick right here is basically Asian coming down to catch this level of support to fill their orders, because they want to catch some of that buy action too. So once you learn the charts like that, you can catch trades like that too. Once you know what session you're in, you'll see how banks, market movers, hedge funds, and the like will set themselves up, and other countries, to get into their entries so they can make profit for the day. So like I said, right here we had USA passing it on to the Asian market. Had a sell-off so they can tap back into this buying area in hopes that it continues higher. And bam, there we go, back into the zone. So we're gonna see what we're gonna do. Are we gonna break out of this zone, continue higher, or are we gonna break back out? Okay, we have some indecision. Not sure. Try to break higher, try to break lower, but nonetheless still in the zone. See what the next candle does. Ooh, break out of the zone again. So what we would like to see is some sort of retest, and we hop into a buy. Now, broke back in the zone. Let's see what it does. There go your retest right there. You hop into buys as soon as it breaks back out. And might I add, you probably want to start to keep in mind and change these zones once you see a price touching a support and touching the resistance on the daily and touching support on the daily. Then whatever consolidation you have to come to this breakout is invalid. All this consolidation is invalid. So what we want to do is, when we get this consolidation right here, we want to create some lows. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back too much of time. So we got that. This low, fucking around with these areas support. And then we got this high. We want to move. Right up in here. So let's see what happens. Breakout, and we're gonna wait for a retest, and then we get into buys. Now we got our retest coming down. Turn around. And we're waiting for continued sales or more consolidation. But being that this was Friday, how we really would have played it was this market breaking out on the 4-hour. You would have caught an impulse probably right here as it broke this high. 72.11, 72.30. Could have locked in 10. You would have got stopped out. Or you could have put stop loss below here, which would have been crazy high, 11 to 91 ish. like 20 pips. Not that bad. It's okay. And that being said, man, that's how we look for trades, especially on the 4 hour. Probably do another video next and show you how we do on the smaller time frames, how I look at the hourly with the color changing strategy. So with that being said, y'all hit me up. Hit us up on the gram, on Twitter. Any questions y'all got, y'all want us to cover, any videos, explain anything, just let us know. Till then, we out. And don't remember, every Sunday we go live on YouTube, live analysis on Australian dollar from 8 to 9 p.m. All right. That being said, we out.